Have you ever wondered, what if the most important thing your dog has been waiting for their entire life is something you've been unknowingly taking away every single day? Most of us believe we're taking great care of our dogs, feeding them well, playing with them, giving them plenty of affection. But there's one deeply fundamental need that almost everyone overlooks. And what's striking is that when it's missing, your dog doesn't react with noise or destruction, but with silence. They slowly become more distant, seek you out less often, and their eyes no longer follow you the way they used to. That need is a space that truly belongs to them. Have you ever seen your dog crawl under the bed, tuck behind the couch, or retreat into a corner when things get loud or overwhelming? Most people's first instinct is to pull them out, thinking something is wrong. But in that moment, your dog doesn't need to be rescued. They are simply searching for safety. This instinct comes from their wild ancestors. For dogs, a den isn't optional. It's essential for survival. Even in a modern home, that instinct still lives within them. When they feel overwhelmed, they need a place to step back, breathe, and regulate themselves. If your home doesn't have a consistent space where your dog can retreat without being disturbed, then every stressful moment becomes something they have to face alone. The good news is, the solution is incredibly simple. You don't need anything expensive. Just an open crate, a bed in a quiet corner, or a familiar blanket under a table. A place where they know, this is mine, and I am safe here. Once they have that space, you'll notice a real shift. Your dog won't disappear when stressed anymore. Instead, they'll begin to return, to stay present more often. Because a dog can only truly connect when they feel safe. Have you ever noticed how, every time you walk past, you almost instinctively reach down to pet your dog? When they're lying quietly, you touch them. When they sit beside you, your hand automatically moves to stroke their head. It comes from love. You think you're showing care. But from your dog's perspective, it's a completely different story. In their world, personal space and bodily autonomy matter far more than most people realize. Every time you touch them without invitation, you're unintentionally sending a message. Their feelings and signals don't really matter. At first, it may seem harmless, but when repeated dozens of times a day, it creates a psychological state called learned helplessness. Your dog begins to understand that they have no choice. They can't say no, and worse, they stop trying to communicate altogether. The result isn't resistance. There's no growling or dramatic behavior. Instead, it's silence, distance, a gaze that seeks you out less, and a bond that slowly weakens without you even realizing it. But here's what matters. Dogs are always communicating, just more subtly than you think. When they rest their chin on your knee, when their nose gently nudges your hand, when they walk up and lean into you, those are invitations. Those are moments when they choose you. And when you learn to wait for those signals, something remarkable happens. They start coming to you more often. Not because they're forced to, but because they feel safe doing so. Real love isn't about touching whenever you want. It's about knowing when to pause and letting them be the one to begin. Have you ever wondered when was the last time you were truly in your dog's world? Not when you were standing above them, calling their name, or bending down for a quick pat, but when you actually lowered yourself to their level, with no agenda, no expectation, just being there. To you, standing or sitting may not feel very different, but in your dog's world, it's a huge gap. You are a large, fast-moving being who controls food, space, and almost everything in their life. Every time you stand over them, even unintentionally, their nervous system quietly asks, "Is this safe?" But everything changes the moment you lower yourself. When you sit or lie on the floor, you send a message no words can replace. I am not a threat. I am here with you. And something almost magical begins to happen. Your dog may look at you longer, approach you slowly, or simply relax more deeply. For the first time that day, they don't need to monitor you. For shy, sensitive, or previously hurt dogs, this simple act is more powerful than any training method. No commands, no rewards, just 10 minutes a day, sitting on the floor, in silence, letting things unfold naturally. You're not just changing your posture. You're stepping into their world. And when you do it long enough, you'll realize something. Your dog doesn't need you to be perfect. They just need you to come down. and truly be with them. Have you ever wondered, every time you pull the leash and urge your dog forward, are you unknowingly interrupting one of the most important things in their world? For humans, a walk is exercise, but for dogs, it's how they read the world. A dog's nose has around 300 million scent receptors, tens of times more than humans. When they stop to sniff grass, a tree, or a lamppost, they're not just wasting time. They're gathering information: which dog passed by, what mood they were in, what has changed in the environment. Every time you pull them away before they finish, it's like someone yanking a book out of your hands before you reach the ending. And this isn't just frustrating, it affects their mental state. Studies show that dogs allowed to sniff freely during walks have significantly lower stress hormone levels than those constantly rushed. Think about how you walk your dog. Are you guiding them or dragging them? A rushed walk with no time to explore is just movement, not an experience. But by simply slowing down, letting them spend a few extra minutes where they're interested, you help them release the stress they've been carrying all day. Try changing this today. Choose a quieter route. Loosen the leash. And when your dog stops to sniff, be patient. Don't rush. Don't pull. Let them finish their conversation with the world. You'll notice something. After walks like this, your dog isn't just more tired, they're calmer, happier, and more connected to you. Because you've finally given them what they've always needed: time to truly be a dog. Most people think their dog knowing the schedule is just a cute habit. But in reality, it's how they keep their world stable. Dogs don't experience time through clocks or calendars. They live through patterns, things that happen in a familiar rhythm every day. Look closely. Does your dog wait by the door right before you usually come home, even when you're late? Do they show up in the kitchen almost exactly at feeding time? That's not coincidence. Their sense of safety is built around the routines you've created. The problem is, many people unknowingly break these rhythms. Feeding at 6 one day, 8 the next. Playing sometimes, skipping it other days. Coming home at unpredictable times. To you, it's just a busy life. But to your dog, it's an unstable world. When they don't know what's coming next, their nervous system stays in a constant state of low-level alert. They can't fully relax, because they're always waiting, without knowing what for. Over time, this leads to anxiety, reactivity, and behaviors you may not understand. The solution isn't rigid control. You don't need to live like a machine. But there are key anchors to keep consistent. Relatively fixed feeding times, regular play, and repeatable daily moments your dog can rely on. When your dog has a clear rhythm, they begin to relax. And when they no longer need to guard against uncertainty, they can finally open up to you. A calm, affectionate dog isn't random. It's the result of the stability you create every day. Do you talk to your dog? Not commands like sit or come, but actually talk. The way you would with a friend. It may sound strange, but this could be the simplest and most important thing your dog has been waiting for. Over tens of thousands of years living alongside humans, dogs didn't just learn to follow commands. They evolved to understand us, our expressions, gestures, and especially our voices. Their brains process language in remarkable ways. They don't just hear sounds, they feel the emotion behind your words. Whether your tone is gentle, joyful, or tired, they know. But more importantly, dogs know when you're speaking to them. Not just talking randomly, but truly directing your attention toward them. And every time you do, you send a clear message. You matter to me. You don't need to say anything special. A simple, good morning, sharing about your day, or talking during a walk is enough. These moments aren't just communication, they are connection. Many dog owners spend time feeding, walking, and buying toys, but forget the most basic thing: making their dog feel seen, heard, and included in their life. When you start talking to your dog more, you'll notice the difference. They look at you longer, respond faster, and seem to understand you more. Not because you trained them better, but because you created a deeper bond. Dogs don't need you to be perfect. They just need you, present, attentive, and willing to share your world with them, one word at a time. Dogs don't need you to be perfect. They never have. What they truly need is simply you, a version of you that is present, genuine, and understanding.
Not someone who is always busy, not someone who cares for them out of routine, but someone who is truly there when they need it.
The bond between you and your dog is not something that appears automatically, nor is it built only through feeding on time or daily walks. It is created through the smallest moments, when you patiently wait for them to come to you, when you lower yourself to their level so they feel safe, when you give them time to explore the world through scent, or simply when you speak to them like a true companion. Each of these small actions is like a brick. At first, you may not notice the difference, but over time, they build a strong foundation of trust and connection. And when your dog feels safe, respected, and truly heard, they begin to open up in ways no training method or expensive tool can replace. Many people spend years waiting for their dog to become calmer, more affectionate, more connected. But the truth is, that doesn't come from waiting. It comes from changing how you show up in their life every single day. In the end, dogs don't need a perfect owner. They just need someone who truly understands them and is willing to step into their world.